Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do something a little different and I'm going to teach you guys how to use hover in CSS. It is a very cool effect that you can really change your website by adding these to links and stuff. If you do it the right way, it turns out to look very well, but if you don't, it could look a little messy. Anyways, I'm going to teach you guys how to use it, and by the end of the video we will have made this cool hover effect on this H1 element. Looks pretty cool. Very easy and simple to make. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. And like always, the source code will be in the description. Alright, I started out by making an index.html and a styles.css. You can press Ctrl B to close that bar. I gave it a title of hover. You can name it whatever. And then you can link your style sheet, which for me just styles.css. Right now in the body, we'll just put an H1 of, let's say, hover. You can name whatever, or you can give it a text or whatever, but in the style sheet we're going to say margin 0 and padding 0. This just makes it go up into the corner. Position it to the center so we can go body, and then we can have a display of flex, and then if we put justify content to center, this will bring it to the center of the page. Right now, if you use align items to be center, this would bring to the center of your height, whatever the height is. But right now, the body, all it has is a height of whatever it needs to take up. So it only needs to take up this amount of height. If we give it a height of 100 view height, oops, oh my god, I'm going crazy, 100 view height, you can see that it goes to the middle like this. And that turned out to be pretty cool. It's a very easy way to position things. And for the hover part, if we target the H1 and then colon and say hover, what happens is whenever you hover over an element, whatever you put in here will get caught. So if we change the background color to be something like red, and we hover over it, change it to red. Probably better to do color instead, like that. Turns out pretty cool. On most web pages, you probably see that your cursor becomes something else if it's something that you have to click on. And how you do that is you go up here and change the cursor to pointer. Now if we go over it, the cursor becomes pointer. Oops, sorry. Change the cursor to pointer in the H1. Because now if we set it in the body, then everything in the body will have that cursor. But if the H1 just has that, then it only calls it when you have your cursor over it. Next, let's change the font family to something like this. I have no clue what it's even, how to pronounce that. It comes with every computer though, so you should be fine. You don't have to download anything to get it. But so it kind of looks a little better now. There's so many other things you can do with this hover. Like if I just went on the body, I can add that too. Oops, oh god, I can't spell anything. Like if I change the background color to be black, then if I go over to the body, it'll become black. But there's something else you can do to make it look a little nicer. In the actual body that doesn't have the hover, or whatever element you're trying to do, you can put the 0.3 seconds, again, any second you want. I can put 5 seconds if I want, and see it takes 5 seconds to get to that color. It's pretty cool. Most people change it to something small, like 0.3 seconds or something, so it's a little quicker. For now, we're just gonna copy this and put it on the H1. So now you can see when we go over to the H1, it turns to be red. Let's get rid of this hover on the body. You can use these hovers literally everywhere. You can use it on pretty much any element in HTML. So it's very helpful. Now, to make the thing I showed you guys in the intro, we can do that right now. All you have to do is let's get rid of this H1 first. And with the body, it's already centered. So only thing else we have to do is we can add a little linear gradient to it. So we can go to the background, then linear gradient. And this can be pretty long. So we're going to say 68 degrees. So this is where we want the linear gradient to go from, 68 degrees. So it's tilted. Then you can put an RGB of 89, 186, and 204. this is a bluish, lightish blue kind of color. And we'll set this to 50%. Next, we'll do another RGB, but this is just going to be 255, 255, and 255. That is just pure white. And again, 50%. There we go. It's kind of like a cut in half kind of thing. It's a pretty cool effect. Lastly, we got to style more of the hover one, the H1. So we can target the H1. Let's change the font family. And we'll set this to be the whatever this one is. You can put it as whatever. Doesn't really matter. It's the closest thing to Poppins, which is a font on fonts.google, but I didn't want to import it or anything. And we can change the font size to be 5 rem. Makes it a lot bigger. And actually we'll just change it to something lower, like 4. Looks a little better. And let's just change the color to be something like another RGB, 59, 122, and 238. So kind of like a lightish, darkish blue, something like that. And again, let's change the cursor to pointer so people know that when they're hovering over something, they know it's a clickable link, not just like a regular element on a page. And let's change the transition to 0.3 seconds ease. This will give us a little transition when we go over it. And again, we can use the hover one that we made earlier. But this time, we're just going to put the text shadow to be 7 pixels, 7 pixels. And then another RGB, a lot of these in here. This will be 0 to 53 and 249. All text shadows is like a box shadow, if you've ever used those. Also in something like Photoshop or whatever it is, there's a shadow that you can set behind an element. So now when we hover over it, gives it a kind of cool bluish effect in the background. Pretty cool. Kind of like a 3D effect, a little bit. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it to be helpful. And please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.